Today, we're going to be pruning our brand new nectarine tree. Now, I don't know if we're going to need pruners this big. This tree is not very big yet. But let's take a look at the tools that we're going to have available to us before we get started. Here with us today, we have some of these big ones. A 2-inch pruner can handle some really big limbs. And if we need to be doing some really large limbs, get through some logs, we have our handsaw here. And most important, though, is that we have our main workhorse right here who's going to be doing most of the fine-tuning of the tree and the pruning. This 1-inch Corona bypass pruner. And we have a nut on this side of it that usually doesn't move too much, but sometimes after a lot of pruning, we might need this little crescent wrench to help adjust it again. And we have a fine-toothed file right here that we use to quickly sharpen the pruner here. After lots of use, sometimes it's nice to have a can WD-40 here just to keep the joints moving smoothly to have less wear and tear on your hand for the day. I want to do a little bit of a follow-up on what we've done to this tree since we planted it last May. And this is a Fantasia Nectarine is the variety. One of our very favorite nectarines to grow and also to sell at market. Now for all you peach growers out there, you may notice that this Fantasia Nectarine looks an awful lot similar to all the peach trees that we prune. The nectarine is kind of interesting. It has its own name and its own fame, but it's kind of just another variety in a lot of ways of a peach tree. It just doesn't have fuzz on it. So a lot of the same principles that we use on the peach prunings and the peach trees, how we take care of it, are going to apply to our nectarine tree here. We have a bunch of peach videos that you can watch that might be very helpful to you guys as you're working on developing your nectarine tree. On the farm, we don't always get to know these trees quite as well as we would like. As we have rows of hundreds of trees, we just got to go in there and chop them up hard. But when you have a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees in your yard, you can do a lot better job at making them productive and making them look good and having a happy, good tasting fruit off your tree. Before we start pruning, I want to show you a little bit of pruning that we did when we planted this 8 months ago. And that could be considered maybe its first pruning since we've planted it. So that's why I'm calling this video the second season. Really, one of the only prunings that we made on this was right here at the top, because the tree, when we bought it, was basically just a straight up whip here. And so we headed off the tree, and you can see since then it's done a lot of growth down here on the trunk, and it's also done a lot of growth here on some of these other limbs that are forming. So the first thing we're doing right now is we're trying to get the tree up to scale, up to size. And we're trying to get the roots up to size, and the trunk and the conduits and the veins up to size so that the tree can start running like an engine, a powerhouse here. But right now the tree is really small all the way around. Because of that, we're not so worried about fruit production right now. We're going to worry about helping to develop the structure to get ready for fruit production in the next couple years. So the structure that we're going to help the tree develop is what's called the open center system, to help force the branches to grow out to the sides so that they can create a big bowl up in here. Think of it this way. If we had a 10 by 10 space on the ground and we wanted to plant a cabbage head, you might plant rows of these cabbages to give them space in their row. Weeds will grow and try to crowd in again. You'll come through and weed. You're making spacing so that the cabbages can develop. We're doing this same procedure of planting things in rows and keeping them organized and weeded, except we're doing it up in the air in a 3D version. So it's not so 2D flat on the ground. We're doing it up in the air, and basically we're gonna end up pruning a production zone that's about 4 feet deep so that we have a field of nectarines. So what we want to do is develop some big trunk limbs that can bear all the weight of all that heavy fruit up in the air. The best that we have found is to have 4 limbs, or 4 scaffolds they call them, come out to each quadrant of the tree, almost like a compass. Maybe one headed south, north, east, and west. Every tree being custom, and as you can see on this one, doesn't always work out quite that way very quickly. but we can help develop it that way over time. Now the tree is already showing us two major limbs that it worked on this last summer, and one is headed east and one is headed a little bit northwest. The tree has already decided something for you too. It's decided that it's going to set up all the plumbing and put all the energy over here. So we're going to try to work with the tree and go with that because it's already done a lot of work on that. So let's start by pruning this one headed east first. This one's pretty easy. I'll just get rid of some of these things that are branches that are kind of in the way. We want to keep some of these nice ones up here and decide. Now we got a whole bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 in here. So we're going to cut out the center right here and cut out some of these that are going straight up. And we're basically going to head, just like we headed the tree here last season, we're going to head this scaffold here again and kind of force it to put out the limbs, building the scaffold out to the sides. So we're going to cut right there. And that leaves this nice one. And we're going to head this off right here with the clipper. And just like we headed this off and kind of propelling the tree's energy and plumbing to focus into here, we headed this off. And now it's going to focus on these buds, and it's going to thicken up this branch right here and make it stronger so it can bear the weight. And it's going to put out new branches up here too. So that's kind of why we head off the branches, is to thicken up these branches so it can bear the weight and put the energy into the new fruit growing here. Because we're going to have some nectarines coming here. We'll probably come back and do a video when we harvest a few of them. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to head off this one right here, and we're going to leave about a 14-inch one there. This one was about 16 inches. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to leave maybe a minimum of 12 inches all the way up to 18 inches to 2 feet to have a nice strong production. And I'm going to head this one off right here too. So I could have just left 2 here. I'm going to leave this one back here too for a little bit of leafage to help give shade to the structure back here for now. I'm going to cut this one off the front. I could leave this one here if I wanted and let there be some leaf develop here. Because one of the things that's going to help the tree as well is it needs to have some solar panels. We want to make sure that we don't go too crazy and just cut everything off, because we want to make sure that it has some nice leaves coming out here in the spring to help power it up and give it solar power. All right, so that completes the scaffold that's going east. Let's come here to this one. This one is shooting out right here, and it's headed south. And we have a big whip here, and we have a second one there. I'm just going to head this one off, leaving it pretty long there. Chop that thing out, and I'm going to clean up this little thing coming out to the side. I don't think we'll be keeping that. We already have a way stronger one up here we're going to keep. And I'm going to chop this little duker off here that's just in the way. So we have 3 branches coming south here, kind of. Now we have a decision to make. This one is kind of in this junction with these other 2. That's a lot of plumbing that has to set up in there to divide that. Sometimes it's easier for the tree to come up here and make the second one come up off this branch. But it is nice to offset the branches sometimes if you can. So I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to go with this one that looks a little bit more powerful to me down here. And I'm going to head off this one and keep it. Now this one is rubbing with this one. You see how there's not enough space? So these ones are running almost parallel and linear. So I'm going to cut off this one right here. And now there's room for this to work its way south and see what it can do for this season. Now we have our southern branches and one going east. Let's move up the tree here and take off some of these little nitpicky ones that we don't need up the tree. It's almost like a multiple choice question where you get rid of some of the stuff that is more obvious just to get the tree some breathing room and spacing, and you're leaving your nice limbs so that you can pick those. So coming up this limb, it's kind of headed in a northwestern way, but it's more western. We probably want to try to make part of this maybe go north and develop another one that's coming west. And this one right here is a really strong branch that the tree put a lot of energy into, and it is headed north. So I think we are going to try to develop this branch right here as our northern scaffolding. When we're developing the scaffoldings, the first main four that come off, we're trying to get these relatively close as we can to support from the trunk. And this one is only about 12 inches away, so that's not too bad, because you got to think in the future as these trunks get to be 5-6 inches thick. So we're going to prune this one here and head it off. And we left a nice 2-foot whip right there. And we could prune this one off if we wanted to try to invigorate it to shoot out all the other ones. And so we'll do that. We have a branch here that we could keep if we wanted, but it's kind of close in here. And I want it to kind of focus here this year because I'm focused more on it building these big limbs up with structure than I am the fruit production. We're going to have some fruit production anyway a little bit because there are some blooms along some of these. So we're not going to worry too much about the fruit, but we're going to worry about the structure. Okay, we kind of have one that's jimmy rigged here up in the middle. And that doesn't really go along with what we're trying to do at the open center at the moment, because we're trying to give room for these all to develop and have space. And this one's going to be up in the middle, putting energy into growing a tree in the middle. So we're going to cut out this one right here. So let's see what we can get to develop out towards the southwest a little bit here. We have a really strong one here headed back, and I'm just going to head this one off for the season. I'm going to cut this one right here. I don't need, because I'm going with this big strong one. And we're going to head that off and see what type of branches it can put out so that we have some leafage here. And this one that's headed out kind of southwest, I'm going to head that one off and see what it's going to do. It's got good spacing out here anyway. And we even have one poking out even further to the northwest than here. So we don't really necessarily need that one for structural. And we certainly don't need this little guy here. So we could leave that one there if we want to have an extra nectarine hanging off there. So that completes our pruning of the second season for the nectarine, the Fantasia Nectarine tree here. Now we have some good structurals headed out in the right directions to help fill out the airspace. And we've left a few of these nice little limbs here too for a little bit of production because we want to eat a few nectarines this year. And the tree is in a very good position here. Sometimes it's hard to have the video with you playing as you're actually out in your yard or wherever you're at pruning your tree. We're putting together a written guide so that you can take it with you into the field. Follow the link in our description. You can put in your email there and be notified when that guide becomes available. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys today, and we'll see you on the next one.